G'day, welcome to the MacPack Mailbag. My name's Shane McKenna, and to my left, this week in order, the man on the panel who's the best TikTok dancer. It's my little brother Joey. How are you, boy?
Man, I'd love to learn a TikTok dance, but I'm a bit unco for that.
And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, is the baby brother of the pack who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
We've been doing some searching, Jake, and we've seemed to find an alter ego of Joe.
We've
on
got
TikTok.
some dirt on Joey that we're going to be
no.
unloading to kick things off on this week's episode of the podcast.
I was unloading to it earlier.
Plus, this week we've got the slang game that I'm going to play, you're going to host after
Yes,
I
I'm
threw
back.
down the challenge last week. Plus, we've got a news story from a bit of an international scope.
Breaking news.
Plus, we're also opening the big, heavy MacPack Mailbag.
Oh, it's full,
And
Jake.
Junior Boy, no, Joey, has this week's Everyday Hero. Boys, it's a massive bet. Let's get into it. Boys,
Flamingos.
how are we all? Are we all well?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
We've got some news. We've got a little bit of a bone to pick with you, Joey boy.
no.
Over the weekend, we were fortunate enough to get messaged by a good friend of the show, good friend of the family.
Oh.
Huge.
Savoy Grange got in contact, our cousin. If you haven't heard of him, do a little bit of a search on Spotify.
Savoy Grange is his birth name. That's correct.
A great musician. Check out his Spotify. He's got some great hits. We've actually been playing him on RTR.
Bloody oath.
Not really the point of this
Cheeky
story.
RTR
What we
plug.
wanted to talk about was the fact that he sent us a link and said, "I think I found Joey doing a bit of a dirty on TikTok."
Oh, Joey.
Oh no, the video leaked.
And then he proceeded to send us a video and a page to a bloke named Ollie, who goes by the @ of Goofy Goober 3287.
Search him up, folks.
So as you're listening, pull over, have a quick search on your TikTok.
Pull your pants down.
We'll share a video on the social media. This bloke, if it's not you, Joe, it's your real brother.
Yeah, I have actually. This isn't the first time Ollie, if that is his real name, has been brought to my attention.
Really?
Have a gaze for it, the young man. Look, look,
Yeah.
he's identical to Joe, isn't he?
Yeah, like that's Joe. I've never met a man more that looks like Joe
More than Joe.
looks
Yeah,
like
I'm
Joe.
looking at Joe right now, and I actually don't. I reckon.
Wait, Joe, that's Ollie. There's Joe. What's Ollie doing?
the bloke on my screen at the moment
Skinwalker.
looks more like you than you do.
It's actually
Look at, like even the moves, like absolutely
That's how I
every
reckon.
Even the
element.
legs.
The legs,
And
the
the
weird
white
socks.
socks?
Yeah, the weird white socks with
What?
the
With the
same.
Doc
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
The
there's
glasses.
so many elements of this that just have Joey written all over it. So we want to know what's the story, Joe?
Yeah, well, so multiple of my friends have sent that to me.
You
and
gotta
some of
search him
Kira's
up.
friends have sent
Oh, really?
him to me, yeah.
And said what?
This
Guy looks like Joe.
And what do you say in return? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it kind of does. Not only when he's up close, not.
Have you seen
as
him
much.
in person?
Yeah, we meet up and practice dancing together.
Nice.
But
You-
yeah, no, he does. Yeah,
You and
he-
Elon, just the little
yeah,
doppelganger
us
group
three together. Yeah,
meeting in the mines.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a what's it called? A duet.
Oh, true.
I'll duet him.
Yeah, we would love that. We could easily organise that. We could get Joe to dress exactly like that and then duet with the exact same dance moves, and it will quite literally be.
Uncanny.
It'll just look like
Uncanny,
twins
right.
dancing together.
You've got to search him up. Goofy Goober 3287.
It's it's identical. That's
On
very
TikTok.
cute.
Yeah, he does look like me. He's handsome. He's a handsome fella.
So how long have you been doing the old
Knows.
TikTok dancing format?
Years. I'm finally getting my day in the sun.
There you
I'm finally
go.
blowing up.
Nice. We'll share that on the social media. That's our favourite. We get a lot of doppelgangers for Joe. We don't get many for Riley and I. We're not necessarily asking for them, but if you do
I
find
wonder why that is.
Yeah, I did think that because there's so many that I get sent. They're like, "Oh, this guy looks like Joe," and it's
must
just like a
be.
nerd.
It's like
Yeah.
characteristics of Joe are so stereotypical.
Yeah,
that
he's
they're
like
so
fucking
common.
handsome and sexy. And
So if you do see any of us,
Glasses.
send them through. But we really want a lot of Joe because they're the funniest ones.
Yeah.
Peculiar cats.
yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, TikTok dances. I had never really gotten into it personally. I would love
we
to.
just seen it, Joe.
But the only time I really considered maybe going into the TikTok dances when TikTok kind of blew up.
Yeah. Okay.
The start of COVID.
Yeah. Right. Was that 20? That's nearly 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Time flies.
Almost to the month.
We talk about 20. It was COVID-19,
Yeah.
but it actually didn't really kick into effect until 2020, which I do think is not helping it in dating it because it does feel everyone's like, oh my god, that was like 19. That's ages ago. But it didn't really affect us in 19 at all.
No.
It's 2020 is when it hit.
Yeah, but yeah, time is flight, and there's a lot of things that we did in 2020. You know, it's kind of iconic things that people don't really talk about much now. And I was thinking about, Tiger King.
Yeah, true.
Tiger King, arguably the biggest show at the time. Like, everyone had seen it.
I've never watched it.
Me neither.
Really? You guys never watched
Not
Tiger
a
King?
second.
So
Nah.
was you watching TikTok dances, Joe?
Yeah, Tiger King. Yeah, but you don't hear about it nowadays. It's just sort of flew by.
I definitely miss COVID. Like, thinking back, because it's almost exactly 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
If someone told me that, like, in a couple of weeks, same thing was going to happen from a very, personable.
Yeah, I'm keen for a lockdown.
Yeah, man, I think it was good.
Freaking fiend a lockdown, bro.
I've seen a lot of videos lately about exactly that, like people pining for, lockdowns and COVID days, because I think a lot of people, life slowed down for a lot of people. Work no longer mattered. University, school didn't matter as much. And everything just sort of slowed down for a lot of people, and they could enjoy time with their family and do this and this and this, because the priority was just like living.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we sort of needed, we came out of it and
Need
everyone
that.
was like, yeah, we'll never work as hard as we did before.
But now we're back.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for the world just to quickly go, oh no, we're just back into it.
Yeah, it was a nice reality check. It's also like fantastic because it did implement the working from home.
Working from
Yeah,
we
that's
all
true.
we all work from
Currently,
home.
yeah.
now.
How many days of the week do you guys work from home?
2.
Yep,
Yeah,
two-ish.
see, I've been doing 3.
That's a lot.
So that's 60% of the week you're getting paid, and you're sitting at home.
Yeah, doing nothing.
That's not necessarily true. But yeah,
it
no,
depends who you are, Jelly.
COVID definitely improved the work-life balance in that regard.
Yeah, I could not, because when I started working full time for like 3 months before we all started working from home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a real slog getting into the hours every day.
What were your favourite things about the whole COVID period?
My favorite thing is obviously not having to go out, and then no one was going out, so you don't feel like you're missing it.
There was no FOMO for about 6 months in Perth.
Because you could, if you wanted to, you could just not make any plans and just hang at home.
That's true.
But now it's kind of like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. I really enjoyed being at home. I was actually going through the knee surgery at the time as well, so I was going to be faced with a lot of FOMO because I couldn't walk. And then within 2 weeks of having surgery, I found out that the whole world was locking down, and I quietly was like, "This is the best news ever." We're all FOMOing together, like no one's
one can
missing
do anything.
shit. Yeah, we're all just rehabbing with Jake. The world's gonna stop while Jake rehabs. But I really enjoyed. We played a lot of darts. We got a dartboard up the back.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk, so I just stand there and ping darts at the dartboard. We did that for hours.
Yeah, darts. That was just good. We also played board games and stuff. I feel like
A lot of family board games.
Family
When was
board
the last?
game?
I don't think we've played maybe once we played a family board game since COVID.
yeah.
But
All my mates started doing home haircuts, which we get our haircuts weekly by one of my mates.
that's true.
Nice.
So some things have stayed.
Something's
A
good.
lot of things have.
But then there's also a few. Obviously, COVID. Everyone was sort of wrapped up in it as it was happening.
Yep.
But looking back, there are a few things where you're like, oh, that was it was kind of good, but kind of cringe. One thing we did with work people, we did Friday night
drinks.
but we'd all just be at our laptop, which was kind of fun the first couple of times because it's
I remember crashing your drinks one night.
yeah.
Because I wasn't working because I had my knee in a brace. And I was like, what are you going to do it now? He's like, oh, we're going to have drinks. Do you want to come and sit in our drinks? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. It's not like my excuse can't be like, no, I'm going out to the pub. No one's doing anything. I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll come.
Did you know the people you were in the drink?
No, I just stayed in the room. And Joe was sort of talking to him, and I was just sitting there, just watching it on my phone.
19.
I might have actually been off camera as well, just so they couldn't see that I was there.
You
It's
just
like
wanted-
bringing a +1, but
Yeah.
putting a bag over there.
You just wanted to watch a social interaction happen.
Yeah, pretty desperate, pretty dire times.
The good thing was about it is because then you're oh, everyone kind of gets sick of it, and then you're just home already. You just teleport home.
Yeah, no, it's good. I
It was
enjoyed it.
good. Yeah. Another thing was House Party.
Oh, the game, was that a game thing?
It's like a game app
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I actually missed COVID.
Yeah, I played a lot of video games. Everyone got back into video games.
The AFL did a festival of footy, and they played a lot of games in WA because they couldn't play them
that's
over east. So we had near on half the league come to Perth, and we had games that we could go. We watched Collingwood play 3 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
That'll
fantastic.
never happen again.
In that sport era as well, Kobe passed away early that year. and then the Lakers went on to win the
Bring the chip.
championship in the bubble.
That's a good point.
Which was
The
really
bubble.
And they did that festival of footy. There's just so many things.
Yeah, and the festival of footy happened. Yeah.
Well, they had footy on. It was like 21 days straight of AFL games. When you're at home doing nothing,
It was
that's
a festival.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, and there was a lot of sentimental stuff going on. I remember there's a great video of people singing like in Italy.
Oh yes.
You know? And then I remember people here used to like go out on their driveways and clap for the nerves and stuff.
For the ambos and shit.
Yeah,
Which is like wholesome, but also like
They can't hear you.
head inside.
And Mum used to put the teddies in the window to wave at the kids when they walk past, so like the kids could like spot teddies on their.
That was more of like a pedophilic ring.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she was part of it. That
She
was
was trying to lure them in.
That's full on. But no, I do miss it.
It has hit the point now where it's like nostalgic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in decades to come, so future generations will have kids, will have grandkids, and they'll talk about COVID as being like, oh, what did you do? That sounds pretty hectic. Like everyone had to lock down and that would have been so scary. And like we're obviously in a segment of that population who were very healthy in regards to comparative. And we weren't really affected by it as anywhere near as much as other people, right? Some people passed away and that's incredibly sad. But for us, when people ask us about how tragic it was, our memories are going to be pretty loose. Like it's like, yeah, man, we fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was me and Mum used to watch my lunch break. I'd come out and me and Mum would watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Like what a
So good.
life.
Yeah, it is interesting how it's so traumatic, but I don't know a single person who died from it. Personally.
Yeah,
That's
Perth
true.
didn't
I'm
have it as
100%.
bad.
Yeah, I'm 100% in the same court as you. I don't know anyone who passed
But
away.
then
from
obviously heaps of people didn't. It was devastating, but like.
it. Just not necessarily
Yeah.
close to
Depends
home
what-
for
To
us.
me, it was kind of quick. Yeah.
It's terrible. Alrighty, boys. Last week we played this game. We've played it a handful of times now on the podcast. It's quickly become one of my favorites. It's my favorite intro by a country mile. But the hosting is a job that I usually do. But it was getting a little bit silly watching you boys fail. So I'm going to play. Joe's going to host.
Been trying to do my thing, but I've been hearing things lately. Funny sayings, I don't know what they mean. Now we're gathered here, I was wondering maybe, can you tell me maybe, what do these sayings mean? What's the saying? What's the saying? What's the saying? Tell me what's the saying?
So Joey Boy is in the hosting chair on this fine occasion. Basically because every time I come up with some really good ones that I would know, ones that I think the you boys would know, and then some of the awkwardness we have in these chairs is quite dramatic. So this time we've got Joey bringing up the potential slang questions and we're going to answer.
Yes.
For those playing along for the first time, basically it's as simple as Joe's found some funny Australian sayings that we say over in Australia, and on this occasion, me and Riley will have to work out what they actually mean.
Yes, okay. So Jake can find some unusual ones. So these ones are pretty. These ones, I think, if you guys are playing at home, I reckon you could get them, but they're not too easy. I don't think.
Okay, cool. I like it. It's intermediate skills.
Let's kick it off with the first one. Let me just write down Junior Jake. So I
Oh,
can
so he's scoring as well.
Yep.
J&J.
The first one we've got. So Riley can go first because he's obviously
Okay, let's do it.
not the S. The first one we got is Festy.
Okay, easy.
Oh yeah. Oh, do I just say?
Festy. That is Festy.
He's gonna 100%. He's gonna get this one wrong. Go.
Festy.
What's it mean?
Festy.
Yeah.
Festy means like, for example, I was to use it in a sentence. Ew, that's festy.
Oh,
It's disgusting or dirty.
And Jake, what do you think?
It's
well,
it's
I've
like
literally written. Sorry, just trying to fix that. I've written like a gross foot. So like if you got like fungus on your foot, for example, you might have like a blue toe, or you've got an ingrown toenail that's
But are you
gotten a
saying-
bit infected.
are
You
you
go,
s-
oh mate, that's festy.
Are you saying that it has to be specific to foot?
No, not at all. Just
Oh.
something that's a bit gross. That's
Okay,
festy.
then
Yeah. Festy is dirty, very bad, gross, icky.
I genuinely thought, and the reason why I said he'll get it wrong, because I thought he'd be like, well, it's like a music festival.
A festy. No.
Me and the boys going to the Festy Fest. All right, the next one we've got Dog's Breakfast.
Good. Do I play first?
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
writing down like a little bit of an
Yeah, write down a little
explanation.
bit
Yeah.
just so you can't completely change. Dog's breakfast. This is one I hear at work a lot.
No one's cheating. Like,
Yeah, well, you could. It essentially means it's gross, it's terrible. For example, they've made a real mess of it. It's an absolute dog's breakfast.
Riley, what do you think?
yeah, like if you've say like your sports team is gonna win the game and they flop and they lose the lead and then they lose, they've made an absolute dog's breakfast out of it.
Correct.
Yeah, both correct.
Ding, ding.
I hope these get harder. Would you have known
Yeah,
these?
yeah, I knew all of these.
Okay.
So we will.
The next one we've got sand gropers.
Okay.
What is it and why is it used?
I might be in a bit of strife here.
I know this one. Riley, I'll let you go first.
A sand groper is a child
Ooh. And why is it called that?
because they play in the sand pit.
Interesting, Jake.
Okay, a sand groper is what we as West Australians are affectionately known as. So like the same way as a New Zealander that we call like a Kiwi or an English person we call a Pom.
Ooh.
A West Australian is a sand groper, and I believe it's because in WA they're either only habitable in WA or they're just very frequently found in the red sand of WA.
Yeah, and what is a sand groper?
It's just like a bug. It's like a little worm thing, isn't it?
Yes, spot on. Jake has absolutely nailed it. That is a sand groper.
But we get called sand gropers. That's like a thing.
It's like a derogatory term.
WA.
Oh, yeah.
WA, we're sand
A
gropers.
sand groper.
Sand
Yeah.
groper. So yeah, Jake is
I like
Jake is hitting him out of the park. Because the thing is, I was a little bit worried that Jake was just getting these off Google and he didn't actually know.
No, I do know a lot.
3-2.
But I love
like
the
that.
English language, and more so than the English language, like the Australian language.
Australian
I love the
language,
difference
yeah,
between the two.
Mhm.
All right, the next one: dog's eye and dead horse.
Yep. Okay. You may I go first.
Yep. Oh no, I don't know, so I'll go first. Dog's eye and dead horse. So you said.
Yeah. And this is one we learned about this at school.
Okay.
Dog's eye, dead horse. Is that like a comparison thing, or are they the same? Dog's eye, dead horse.
They're not being compared to each other.
Dog's eye, dead horse. Like they're useless.
Interesting. Jake, do you want to have a guess?
I want to say, and I think we're going more like the English like rhyming slang for
Ooh.
part of it. So, what was the second one? Dead horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that means like tomato sauce with sauce. So I want to say,
Oh.
I want to say dead dog's eye.
Yeah.
It's a pie.
It's either
meat pie, tomatoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's dead on.
I reckon 50-50. I reckon because he got the
50-50,
first
yeah.
bit. I wasn't gonna get
That's
the
so
first bit.
funny because the place.
But that's rhyming slang. So in the
Rhyming slang, yeah.
in the UK, that's huge. So like, there's so many, and we can come up with heaps.
Like
but
dog
this
and bone is telephone.
Yeah.
Oh right.
rhyming slang and Cockney rhyming slang is
Cocky.
even more hectic because it's like words that
Don't
it's like a
actually
different
rhyme.
language. Yeah, essentially it's like a different language, and then we're rhyming those, and it's not even real English.
Every time I get a pie at one of the places I work, the lady who serves me always says "dead horse," and the first time I was like, "Excuse me."
Just
I
the
thought
pie.
it was beef.
I don't need an ingredients list.
But yeah.
Yeah, when we were in like year 4 or something, we learned all these like rhyming slangs and stuff, and I was like, man, this is so cool. I'm gonna use this all the time. I don't. Because if
You're a
people
bit
don't,
so
if
peculiar.
people,
You
it's
just sound like
definitely like an older thing to do.
But you're not, with all due respect, and I don't think you'll be offended by this. You're not the ochre Australian that some
Say
people
that.
are.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If he walked around and he gave me a bit of Struth cobber, it's bloody fucking hot.
Yeah, it's
I would
true.
be like,
Yeah, about those shields over there, Cobber.
yeah, probably stop doing what you're doing.
G'day, mate. It's fucking.
Well, that's where I come
Dry hair.
unstuck, and I feel a little bit.
goofy goober 2830.
Yeah, exactly. I feel a little bit silly because I think people think that I'm putting it on, but whenever I say hello to someone, I've never said hello or say hi.
yeah.
I always say g'day, how you going?
G'day,
Yeah.
Sheila.
And it's not even going. It's g'day, how you going? That's how I start every
Yeah.
conversation. G'day, mate, how you going?
I go howdy.
He's
Howdy, partner. howdy.
It's just making the example very clear. What's the score? I think we've only got one to go.
Yeah.
Yep. So Riley's 3, Jake is 4.
Okay, so I need to stumble and fall on the last hurdle, and Riley boy needs to hit it out of the park to tie.
This one is crossing the ditch.
Okay, I got it.
Oh.
We even talked about this. We talked about this weeks ago.
Ooh, bit of a hint. Riley, have a guess.
Crossing the ditch. COR. I'm going to say crossing the Nullarbor.
Nah, you're incorrect. We talked about this weeks ago, and I can't remember why. It's a New Zealand thing. So
So why am I getting quizzed on it?
because
As
it's
Australia,
what we call. I mentioned it. I'd love for anyone who actually listens to the episodes because we don't to tell me when we mentioned it. But like I made up a bit of a joke saying the Dutch, like that's what you say. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah, the Dutch.
the Dutch, and you had no idea what it meant then. And I said that's how it's how we sort of know the ditch. But New Zealand people don't pronounce itch; they just say like fush and chups.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's not so. Instead of crossing the ditch, it's crossing the Dutch. That's what they say. Anyway, it essentially means that small amount of water
The Tasman Sea.
between Australia and New Zealand is called the ditch.
Oh.
To cross the ditch means for you to travel from Australia to New Zealand.
Oh, is that what the Dutch used to do?
No.
No.
I'm just doing a lol gag, guys. I'm all caught up.
It's all.
So Jake,
I lost.
yeah, Jake has gotten 5 out of 5. So I believe that he knows the slang.
Yeah, I think we keep playing it though.
Yeah.
I like it. It's way more
good to
fun.
learn,
It's
yeah.
way more fun having someone know it than just two blank faces being like, "I don't think that's really a thing, man."
Yeah.
What's Callum's buckle?
I can't believe Riley had Buckley's chance. And get away with it.
Alrighty, boys, little bit of news. We like doing these. We like finding some funny, like bizarre news articles from around the world and bringing them to the people because,
This just in.
yeah, exactly right. We'll have to come up with a little sting for it, but we're going to kick things off
That's
today.
a cool name. This just in.
Yeah.
Why hasn't a news thing done that?
Don't call me Justin, all right? The headline reads, person who ate too much... the person...
How did they write that?
It's a goodie. The person who ate too much kebab called for ambulance. Services in Wales have revealed. After receiving calls on subjects such as inappropriate missing false teeth and having a hand stuck in a letterbox, the Welsh Ambulance Service is appealing to the public to only call 999, which is their version of 000, for paramedics to come urgently if someone is seriously ill or injured. A person once called for an ambulance after eating too much kebab, which is just outlandish.
Too much kebab. I feel like that, like in English, doesn't make sense.
Too much
Too much
kebab.
Too much kebab, as if kebab doesn't finish. Like a kebab
No, I think they mean like chicken.
off the stick that spins around.
Yeah, I think so.
Kebab.
I
Too
think
much
that's what
kebab. Like, how can you have too much burger? Like that doesn't grammatically.
Too
that's
much
not right.
kebab.
Am I right?
I'm not sure. Further 999 calls were made in Wales last year because someone had misplaced their false teeth and another had their hand stuck in a letterbox, right? A lost voice, a ring stuck on a finger also prompted inappropriate calls to be sent through to the Welsh Ambulance Service. Could you imagine calling like the 000s?
So this isn't about a kebab. What are we talking about here?
we're just explaining
Why are
some
you
of the...
listing like 12 stories?
We're just explaining some of the random things that people have called, right?
We're in Act 1.
Kebab. So someone lost their voice, and then they rang the 000, the
I'd have a
999.
chat.
So which one are we talking about?
Well, we're just telling you about some inappropriate ones that have come through.
So I won't go too hard on the kebab anymore.
Someone
still
lost
not-
their voice. Imagine that. Someone lost their voice, and then they tried to call the ambulance services.
Tough to do.
Someone also had a ring stuck on their finger, and they called 000. These are not life-threatening issues, right?
Okay.
And they had, of their 414,000 calls last year, they had 68,000 of which weren't life-threatening. They were just literally, mate, I've eaten too much of this kebab.
I need help.
2 fingers. down your
What do
throat.
I do?
If your fingers aren't thick enough, I've got a chick with a ring on it on the other line.
Yeah, she's coming over. That's an average of nearly 200 calls a day. So their big plea at the moment in the UK.
I would, you know what? If I worked in a call center, I'd prefer to be getting these calls than, fuck, this guy's chasing me with a knife.
Yeah, but when you're talking
for a
about
moment,
but when you're talking to the hand stuck in letterbox, someone's dying
Yeah.
because you're not talking to them.
mind you, who are you meant to call if your hand gets stuck in a letterbox?
I'd
probably call one.
I'd go for. I feel that's for a firefighter kind of job.
Yeah.
But that's the same. That's the same setup. That's still an emergency phone number.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
Put me
And then
through.
they
So
put
like,
it through.
where are we in the wrong as well?
Put me through to the guy.
No, whenever I've had to call the police about something, I call there's a non-emergency one.
Have you ever?
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know when I got that weird book in the... Do I have to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. We will talk about that shortly. What they've also put in this little article, and we might actually do a little bit of role play. You've got the article up now,
Yeah,
Joe.
I do, yeah.
What we might do is we're just going to do a couple of little... These might go terribly. But what we're going to do is a little bit of a role play about how some of these phone calls have gone. You're going to play the operator.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the caller. The first one we're going to do is just titled... Now, these are actual transcripts of calls that were made to the ambulance by the people, right?
Yeah.
So this
By
is...
the people, for the
This
people.
is this is verbatim stuff. So, firstly, Act 1, we're going to do tonight. We're doing...
Wait, don't.
It's like an improv
Maybe
stand.
don't spoil what it's about yet.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, we'll see if you can guess.
Oh,
You're the
yeah,
operator
yeah.
and you've just picked up the call.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
here we
yeah.
go.
This could be anything.
Ring,
Oh,
ring,
yeah.
ring, 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 ring.
Tell me exactly what's happening.
Yesterday evening, we had some kebab, and I might have had a little bit more than I'm used to. Then this morning, I've had a very painful stomach. It's the end of the chat.
That one was titled Too Much Kebab.
And did he hang up?
No, I
No,
think the
they
chat
go on to
continues.
say-
But what a way to have a yarn. It wasn't even like an emergency. There was like literally my stomach's feeling a bit grim from yesterday's kebab.
It must be an old person.
Just quietly, I'm yet to have a kebab and my stomach not feel a little bit crook the following morning. Isn't that like part of
by the
the...
sounds of this, tell me something's happened. Yesterday we had some kebab. I mean, I kind of get what he means because the kebab sounds like it was endless. We had some kebab. I didn't have a kebab. I didn't have the correct serving size. And
I'm still chewing kebab.
goes
It's
forever.
in my mouth. But I thought a prerequisite to having like a souvlaki or kebab was that you knew you were going to feel like shit for 24 hours after you chewed on one. Next up, we won't give you the title. Joe, be the operator. Ring, 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 ring.
Is the patient awake?
What a way to start the chat. What a way to start the chat. Yeah, it's me. My hand is stuck in the door.
Is the door locked at the moment?
Yeah, it's locked, ma'am.
Wouldn't the follow-up be where?
No, my hand's fucking stuck in the letterbox.
How old are you?
Open the door, my hand's stuck.
So I think at that
There's
point
no
he's
way.
talking to his mum. Yeah, it's locked, Mom. No, my hand's stuck in the fucking like he's not talking to the person on the phone.
Oh.
And I go, "How old are you?" And he goes, "Open my
So
door."
his mum, he's talking to his mum and he's on the phone to some
I think so,
emergency
yeah.
service cap. Goodness gracious me. What do you want to guess what that one was for?
It's also like where in the door.
No, you know how
They've
they
got
have
a
that little
mailbox.
mailbox there.
Why is that something that Australia's never done?
It's
I think our
incredibly
yards
unsafe.
are too big.
Must be very nice,
La-di-da.
Joey boy.
La-di-da-di-da.
Lastly, we're going to do a bit of false teeth. Call up. I have a bottom part. Denture, and I went to clean my teeth, and I said, "Where's my false teeth? This sounds crazy, but I don't know what else to do. Could I have swallowed my false teeth?" Who's writing these articles?
Can you imagine getting a phone call and it's someone asking you if they've swallowed their false teeth?
yeah. You got no idea. You never met this
Operate-
person. You can't see anything.
Operator responds with, "So you don't know where your false teeth are."
You'd have to be so stern on
And
the
that's
end,
the end of the call.
on the other end of the line.
Oh, that one was missing false teeth.
For those playing along at home. You've once ate
God.
too much kebab, didn't you?
Yeah, well, that one really resonated.
Did you call emergency services?
No, but I played a game of basketball and then got rushed to the ED. So maybe I should have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you just skipped the phone call bit and went
I had a HSP.
And would you say that
like a
was-
meat box. Not every state calls them a HSP. What
Yeah.
does a HSP actually stand
Halal
for?
Halal
snack
snack
pack.
pack.
We don't actually call it a HSP.
Oh,
That came from over east.
We call it a meat box.
Yeah.
okay.
And would you say it was too much kebab?
Yes.
So what ended up happening?
Well, I ate the kebab. I ate the meat box rather. We had an exam. It was my year 12 AIT exam, which got scaled down from 63
Yeah,
to
because
33.
you use colouring
was the
in
worst day
pencils.
of my life.
in the
Anyway.
exam.
No, AIT, Applied Information Technology.
Which is
Yeah,
the
we
one with the
understand.
colouring in.
That's drama.
You really, and then you wonder why you got a 68. You're like, well, yeah.
Anyway, no, my AIT got scaled down from 63 to 33. But in hindsight, I know I can't. I fucking know. That was the reason my
really
AIT
That
Yeah,
was
is,
so
yeah.
you've
dumb.
literally
Yeah.
gone from a B to like a heavy F.
And the top of the class guy in my thing, because I never talked to him before, but I knew he was top of the class. I saw him like out after the fact. I don't know where, but I was like, bro, that AIT exam, how'd you go? He was like, yeah, I got 93, but I got scaled down to 63.
So they're just peeling 30% off.
Yep. Good to know before we enroll in the class. Buddy. Anyway, but that sounds like it's irrelevant, but
It is.
it's because after that exam, I hadn't eaten all day, 4 hour exam, whatever. Then we were like, boys, let's go get a HSP. So we all got a HSP, and then we went home, caught the bus. I had a big one, those absolute massive ones. That
In the phone box?
Everyone was sharing them, and I was like, no, I'll be able to knock it off. I got halfway through the meat box. I've told the story before. I got halfway through the meat box, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling full. But then I kept eating, and then by the time I got to the end of the meat box, I was like, I'm not full.
I've had too much kebab.
Why? No, but I finished the meat box, and I was like, I'm not full. I could keep eating. And then I went.
I got a second.
Eating the box.
And I went home and then played a bit of basketball with you guys, warming up for our game.
Yeah.
And then came inside and ate like a steak dinner with Dad. And I was like, damn, I'm huge.
Were you still
Am
hungry?
I bulking
Well,
at the
I
moment?
ate a whole dinner as well. I ate a whole steak dinner. And then we went and played basketball. We probably lost. And then on the way home, we were driving over speed bumps. And I was like, oh. And I legit couldn't breathe. And remember you were going slow over the Livingston speed bumps.
No recollection.
And I was like, because I was like, get me home. I was like, get me home. And then I would like, you'd go over the speed bump and I just like couldn't breathe. I was so scared. And then like I got home and I was like crying my eyes out because I was like, I can't breathe. And then Mum and Dad rushed me to the hospital.
And they just went, too much kebab, boy.
Pretty well.
Alrighty, boys. Last week we put a little bit of a pulse out. We wanted to check if the pack is truly listening in. And we asked, boys, girls, pack members, get in your questions, get in your advice, get in your dilemmas, and we'll see what we can answer for you. And we had quite a big sack. So we're going to have a look at the very full sack right now. We're going to come up. We'll see if we can find a couple of good ones. First up, let's kick things off with Liam Pittaway. Swimming laps in a public swimming pool with a snorkel on. Is this straight up genius or flat out weird?
Remember Mum used to have the snorkel that looked like a shark fin?
Yeah.
It wasn't a snorkel which we're all used to that goes around the ear, like around the side of your mouth. It was a straight on one, and it would go
It's like a big
forward
nose.
in front of your
Yeah.
nose, and then poke out like in a curvilinear right over your skull. It was pretty neat. It
You
was
say
really
used
good.
to. Doesn't she still use it?
Nah,
I think she
surely not. Maybe she got a new
does a
one.
bit of a breath.
Oh, a bit of the shoulder. Bit of the shoulder stuff.
Oh my god.
That's an off-air chat. That's an off-air chat. We've just dropped on air. Anyway, continue on. just timestamp that for the fans at home. The funniest thing is we're all thinking it, but no one said it. And then the bloke who's meant to be able to not like hold his tongue for like live radio, what we're doing in a matter of hours, is just drop the bomb.
Yeah, I might do some
Just leave it. I reckon stop. I'm gonna have to bleep all of this out.
Okay.
Very good stuff. So yeah, what do we think? What do we think about the snorkel?
I wouldn't be seen wearing it in a public.
You wouldn't?
Pool. But then there aren't many cool people at a public pool, so
Wow, we are just spraying everyone in the mailbag.
Phelps.
yeah. So like, if you're gonna wear a snorkel, I mean, no one's probably gonna judge you. There's like naked dudes in the toilet constantly.
Yeah,
The
they're
snorkel
worried
isn't-
about their own snorkel,
Yeah,
mate.
exactly.
Goodness gracious me. I don't mind it. I think it's quite effective, but I do think they're turning the shoulder, like look, doing the actual breathing.
Yeah.
I think that's quite important to the swim stroke.
Yeah.
Personally, like it's part
Is
of the
it?
it's part of the technique.
Part of the energy as well.
It's
No,
part
but
of the
don't
tech.
you-
It's equivalent to saying like, oh yeah, run, but when you're doing it, don't move your arms.
Or run, but
It's not at all.
like the hardest part about running is in exercise usually is oxygen intake
Yeah.
Yeah.
to replenish the muscle.
Well, you're still getting that with the massive snort.
Well, that's what I mean. You're getting more of it with the snorkel. It's like doing a marathon with an oxygen tank, running, putting
Okay.
perfect amounts of oxygen through your lungs constantly. Then
you
you'll be
still
fine.
Yeah.
Then it's not that hard.
I think that it's part of the technique. If
But
it wasn't
you're not breathing every stroke.
every third stroke usually, and then you alternate. That's what the good ones do.
Yeah.
How scary is it? You know when you go off and you're like, and you miss?
You know, shit, gotta do more.
Yeah, you're like,
Gotta do more of these. When was the last time you went to a public pool?
oh. That time I probably went with you.
I'm gonna need more information.
I don't know.
When did we went?
Oh, I don't know. Like when I was in year 10.
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
There was a period of time we were going. I would like to get into swimming. It's just fucking. It's a bit of a hassle. You gotta drive there. You gotta
It's actually not.
put your snorkel and wetsuit on.
Yeah, I'd love to get into it.
Yeah. Should we?
Now that you've just potted everyone at the pool, you've got a fucking bounty on your head. Next public pool you go to. Anyway,
The only thing with the snorkel is I feel like, yeah, you probably when people go snorkeling.
Yep.
They're not doing freestyle much, are they? It's more of a breaststroke.
yeah,
kind of
correct.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you might hit the snorkel.
Oh, if you're doing the overarms.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Well, not if it's at your nose, but if it's on your right hand wing. Yeah. So you reckon the nose one's helpful? So you're saying?
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying words, but you don't really know which side of the argument you're taking.
I think it's on. It's just definitely not normal.
What to do the straight up and
You
down?
have a snorkel at the pool.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people do it. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah. I'm solved.
There you go. I think I often find I've got quite a little mouth. So when I put the snorkel pipe thing in the end, it's so massive. Like my whole face is just huge as a result.
Yeah, it's a lot of plastic in
Yeah,
there.
man, it's too
Is
much.
that BPA free?
Who knows? George, absolute king. George, he loves getting in contact. George 96. If I see you lads at the footy, can I buy you blokes a beer? Answer is
Always.
shit the bed. Yeah, of course you can.
But we'll send you our seat numbers. Drop them.
Yeah, bloody hope we can make that happen. We'll just get a little Deliveroo type service off the road. You're not drinking at the moment. What do you want Geordie to bring you?
I'm at the footy. You could go for a Coke, no sugar.
Maybe you could bring
That's
Geordie
good.
a beer, Joe.
Yeah, maybe I could.
Yeah.
Probably won't though.
No, I think that'd be cute. And if need be, if you weren't there, just pretend you are. This is what I'm finding with Joe. He's really good when we go to like a 21st or something, for example. Like we went to your film thing the other night.
Yep.
Everyone got a free drink on arrival, right?
Yep.
And then who's my best friend all of a sudden? Everyone.
The absolute king, because he gets the coupon for the free drink.
Yeah.
And I just stand next to him and go, mate, they're giving out Cokes for free. Just give me the drink voucher.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? I'll grab a beer. Thanks, Ledgman. I actually walked into that cinema with 4 beers under my arm,
King.
which is... Everyone got 1 drink token. Who's the guy who's hoarding 4 drink? Who's he beat up to get 4 beers?
Wait, you had 4 beers?
Yeah, I had Dad's because Dad doesn't like
Oh,
beer.
yeah.
I had yours, and then Riley was like, "Man, I found another one. You want one?" And I was like, "Yep." And then I had my original one. I was like, "Man, this is going quite well. I'm hammered."
All these movies are good.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's put encore, more beers. Bring the beers out. We'll go one more because we're running short on time. We're gonna go H Wello. This is juicy. H Wello, how do you go for a best mate's sister? Need advice from the brother Mingos. H Wello, I feel like he's been listening since he was about 9 years old.
It's the age-old question, isn't it? A mate's sister.
Yeah.
Is it?
We've all been there.
We've all been.
What are we recommending for H Wello? How close is the mate? Who is the sister? We're going to need some deets. We're going to need
It's a
some
bit-
deets.
I'm going to need an app.
It's given a bit Harry and Ginny. From Harry
Oh,
Potter.
yeah, that's fair. That's
That's
fair.
right, from Harry Potter.
Harry and Ginny.
I've got a good tale of a bloke that I know who ended up marrying his best mate's sister.
His best mate.
And, like, fantastic setup because realistically, let's just think about, like, your best mate, if they've got a sister, for example. You get to hang out with them all the time. Like, every Christmas, going to, like, the in-laws' house and shit. Just like, man, you just get to hang out with your best mate and their family.
Yeah.
The same way. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got a bit of like a
You know what you're
foursome-
walking into. Oh, here we go.
I've got a foursome going on. One of my mates' younger brother hangs out with us, right? And one of my other mates and his younger sister hang out with us.
Okay.
And the 2 younger ones started dating. So they've got like a 4-man friendship group plus dating going on. How cool is that?
It's good as long as it works, but the moment it doesn't work,
Yeah, then it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, it's very
chaos.
awkward.
But it
So
does-
it's a high risk, high reward, high risk.
But then people are always like, "Oh, you can't like my sister. That's crazy. That's my sister." But it's like, I like you. You're a good bloke.
Your
and
sister
your sister is probably going to be pretty similar to you because you guys grew up in the same house, went to the same schools.
Good shout.
Why would I not like your sister if she's just a good-looking version
Yeah,
of you?
she's fit as
Yeah.
fuck, man. I don't know. Yeah.
Like legit though, but like, it does make sense. It's like, oh, you're funny. You guys have the same
Yeah.
sense of humor. You're pretty. You're my mate.
Yeah. No, I see exactly where
Yeah.
you're coming from.
Let me let it.
So how do you reckon? Do you reckon it's something that you got to bring up ahead of time?
Yeah, you need to tell him. You can't have her tell him.
You got to
Yeah.
get his blessing.
It's also hard because we're obviously like 3 brothers. So we're not really in that situation. Like,
That's
it's
true.
hard to empathise.
It's hard to be on the guy with the sister who is being sought after on this occasion.
Yeah, but I feel like if someone came at you with like genuine intention, like, hey mate, I actually do really like your sister.
Yeah.
Let me have a genuine crack at it.
Yeah, just word it like that, Will.
Alrighty, boys, it's time for our favourite weekly segment. It is time for our only weekly segment. It is time for our Everyday Hero, Joey Boy. Take it away.
Yes, that's right. I'll be taken away with my everyday hero this week. Sorry. I know, this has basically become the Joe segment, I guess.
This is the first time
I'll take the lead.
that I lose my lead officially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Passing of the buttons. Wow.
Maybe we shouldn't announce what we are every week.
I'll keep it a mystery.
Yeah, and then wait till like the end of something.
Yeah, also
Yeah,
my
the
thing
end of
is,
the
when
vibe.
are we ending? Like, what is this just how
This
you're
is
going to
season
continue?
3.
Yeah, but season 2 went for about 150
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Season 2 ran for your entire university degree. So I don't know
Yeah.
what we're waiting for. Maybe a jail sentence. is what we do the next one.
masters. Yeah.
Good. Well, that won't happen. The 9-year season of the pod. Joe, take it away again, please.
Yeah, so I'm going to take you down to the NCAA.
Always good to get a heavy speed wobble off the top. All right, let's go again. Here we
The
go.
NCAA swimming men's freestyle.
And what does the NCAA stand for while we're at it?
Good question.
We don't need to know.
The North
Question.
Carolina.
We don't need to know.
North Carolina or something. So it was 1650 yards.
1650.
Yard, yeah. So no idea how long.
3 yards to a meter.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. 3 feet to a meter.
1650 yards. What are you
Yeah.
saying?
This is how far they swam.
Okay.
I'm going to
Let's-
assume
oh,
that's like, okay.
1650 yards.
Yeah, it's a
Is that what you're
weird
saying?
measurement.
That's fucking weird. It's like
I can see yard.
So would they measure their pools differently to us?
That's what I was thinking. Okay, let me just quickly look up. You guys chat. Let me look up.
Or do
this
they have to
yard
get it like
thing.
bang on?
Because they can't be doing, like, we have a 50-meter pool.
Yeah.
But 50 yards is shorter than 50-meter pool.
Well, it would
What happens
be
when
the-
they get to, imagine getting to the Olympics, you've done like a 30-meter
would
pool
be
for
the
your life, and
equivalent.
then you get there and you're like, this is bigger? This is way bigger than we've ever done before.
An
What?
extra yard. Okay, it's 1.509 K. So
Okay,
1,500 meters.
Yeah. Okay.
So yard is basically.
But nevertheless, the 09 would still throw someone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Wait, search how much 50 meters is in yards, like a 50-meter pool.
Not
50
sure
meters
why,
is
but
a
what
yard.
do you
Yeah,
do
because this is the exact point that you were making, Jack. Other pools.
Oh, they'll get
54.
there, yeah.
50 meters is 54.
The extra 5.
Point.
So you reckon
yards.
they have a 54.86?
Well, my thinking is if Michael Phelps is training in a 55-meter
Maybe that's
pool,
why he's so good.
that's what I mean. And then he gets there, he goes, mate, I just that's a record. I've never swum 50 meters that fast. And he goes, well, realistically, that's because you've never swam 50 meters before. You always swim 55. You absolute genius.
Legend.
I also smashed my head on the end of the pool, but that's part of the part.
And I'm pumped with train.
They seem to say.
It's been a good hero so far, just in case anyone was wondering what the segment is.
I think they've actually 50 meters. They probably just round, right? No one's really sure.
Absolutely. But don't say you didn't learn anything on this week's episode of the podcast. Yards, just for anyone playing along at home, yards aren't as long as meters. And you've learnt that probably in
They're
like...
longer.
Yeah, but they're not as... It's not the same distance.
Only slightly though.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Anyway, gonna throw a joke for the hero again.
So Owen Lloyd, he's kind of the goat in the 1650 yard freestyle.
And the
He was-
1.5 km Frio.
Yeah, he was swimming for his team for North Carolina. And he came in, he broke the not the world record, but the record for that like division
Okay.
and stuff.
Nice.
He's absolutely smashed it. And his teammate was in the lane next to him. They're both finished. He's beaten the record. He obviously knows he's beaten the record now because he's been these times.
'Cause he's
come
finished,
up
yep.
or whatever.
Yeah, wow.
And he is.
What a
And then
fun
this is
feeling as well.
to-
Like, you know, when swimmers like, because they don't know.
Nah. Would you look to
They go bang, and then they look up, and they're like,
Yeah. Fucking
They
dead
have
last.
fun.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you're dead. Like, I remember in school when people used to race.
You know,
And they're
mate.
like going bang, bang, bang.
Trust me,
bang,
I
bang.
knew.
That's so true, because you're sitting at RAC Arena, wherever the fuck we used to, Challenge Stadium, whenever we used to swim, and you're quite literally the last person to find out. You're dead last. There's hundreds of people who know before
and your POV is like, you're going so crazy fast. Like,
just swimming around in circles.
The kids, I used to love the kids that would be swimming and then they'd just be bouncing off the fucking lane, right, as they're making their way through. Yeah. And some kids have because you wouldn't rock up with goggles. So you just
snorkel.
No, well, you're just swimming, right? They're just swimming with their eyes shut, and they're on a fucking
facing wall.
Yeah, well, they're on a fucking angle like this, and they're going so hard at the rope.
How painful is
Great way to just lose a finger in the rope. That hurts so much, and you're just doing it full gusto because you think you're down the middle of the lane.
Why isn't the rope softer? Like, it is quite like when you kick that thing, it's like, ow.
Yeah, it hurts heaps.
So Owen Lloyd didn't have that issue though, because he was absolutely gunning it, and he's taken home the record. He's then qualified for the next big race or whatever.
Yep.
And he's up and about. His teammate is next to him. He's up and about because he's come second. So
nice.
I assume he's qualifying as well. And he's going nuts. They're fucking celebrating. He then jumps up to celebrate with him. So he gets up on the lane thing.
Oh, yep.
He's up and about, cheering because everyone there knows
record.
This guy's done it. He's up on the lane, swims into it with his mate, and they're just getting up and about.
DQ.
And then, they're going over to go to the podium and stuff. There's an announcement over the thing.
What?
Swimmer in lane 4, Owen Lloyd, has been disqualified.
For what?
For entering another swimmer's lane before the race is over.
No. Is that a rule?
Yep. Yeah.
So, which I did think when he was on the thing. I was like, can you do that? But it's weird because...
it makes sense in the game. Like, if you're actually playing against
the guy
someone.
whose lane he went to, they were both finished. So they didn't interrupt anyone's thing.
Oh, so imagine being the person that...
with the drag in the water.
What? Is they...
Like, if you're it would be so small.
Well, your races look different to mine.
But if everyone's all joining into the same lane and swimming sideways, then the drag in the water would mess up the swimmer who's still going.
With all due respect, if there's a drag in the water,
more power to him.
Yeah, man. I'm not here to judge. All right, I'm all for it. Get as many drags in the water as possible, if you ask me.
Sports science crew understand where I'm coming from.
So then, so he's been DQ'd, and it's quite.
That's so. Imagine being the person that has to do the voiceover and just give it a bit of.
I love that.
Hey, Owen.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, he's out of the pool this one. He's gone over to he's put on his headphones to do his
medal
interview after the thing.
Oh, and he's finding it in real time.
Yeah, so he's DQ'd. He's fucking absolutely distraught. His coach comes up, gives him a hug. He ends up going down, sits down, and
but
just
surely
cries.
you're throwing a flag. Surely you're challenging that play. You're like, nah.
I think that they're getting it appealed, and maybe, but I mean, it's in the rules, I guess. So then his mate, the guy who came second, he's now the winner. He's the winner. You legend.
But did he leave the pool at the same time?
He stayed in his lane.
No, he was in his lane.
That's where it comes from, Jake. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
There you go.
And this is his response to the controversy.
This is the guy who ended up winning, who was initially the runner-up, and who's now the champion. Do we have a name on the man? Not Owen.
No,
here we go.
Not Owen.
The winner, Ross. This is a strange one, I know, for you. Congratulations on one hand. Do you have any idea what happened and your emotions right now?
I think that's the dumbest rule in swimming.
Good, Ross.
Owen beat me fair and square. He should be on that toe of the podium. He was excited. That's a huge win for him, right? He earned that. And that's his emotion, right? That's what we get in the sport of swimming when we do well. We train all year for a moment like that, and to have him disqualified, I think, is the dumbest thing ever.
Do you mind
He works so hard every day. He is going to be on that #1 trophy. I am not going to stand up there.
Ross, do you mind if I ask you what rule did he break? We haven't even heard of up here.
Whenever you win, you're not allowed. Well, the other teams, or excuse me, the other swimmers are still swimming. You have to stay in your own lane. You're not allowed to jump or cross over the lane line into someone's lane. And in his celebration, which he earned, he came over to my lane.
Oh my God.
No, he earned that fair and square. He will be getting that medal.
There you go. We love that.
He just
really a swimmer, not a fucking presenter. Stop breathing into the mic.
He just swam 1.5k, almost at record-breaking speed because he came second. Darth Vader.
Nah, good on him. What a lovely guy. That's actually really nice.
No, I love that he was like, no He didn't mention a single thing about him.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't like
all,
great stuff. Really enjoyed swimming. It was just like, nah, that shit that doesn't make any sense.
Bro.
Well, like fantastic. What an absolute superstar. We have to talk about this maybe at another time. But the idea of interviewing athletes immediately after they do their thing, it's got to be the dumbest thing we do. Like, you run over to someone after they've done like a 100-meter sprint. And you're like, how do you reckon you went? They're like, and they're literally just breathing for their life. Like, they can't. That poor bloke. The entire time he's speaking. Yeah. It's like he's got emphysema. Goodness me. Props to Ross. I'd love to know how it went down. He obviously got up on he got his mate Owen up on the thing.
I don't know. That's
well, hopefully he's not all talk because you've given him the hero. But yeah, absolutely appreciation for Ross for being an absolute superstar. The friendly freestyle hero this week's episode. Episode 181. Everyday hero goes to Ross, the friendly freestyle hero. Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. Big week on the cards. We're doing live radio in hours. How many hours? 12 hours?
12 hours you'll be done.
That's terrifying. We've got to go to bed. We've got to get some sleep under our belts.
I'll wrap you up.
If you've enjoyed this week's episode of the podcast, do what we ask you to do each and every week is just send it to a mate. Just basically say, these boys love swimming.
Yeah, send it to your mate and say, what do you reckon about this whole sister stuff?
That would be heaving. We love it. If you got any questions similar to what the gang got in contact with us about this week, make sure to ping in a DM. We've never, ever not responded to a DM. We love DMs more than life itself. So ping us a DM if you're enjoying the show. We got some funny ones this week. We'll share them throughout the week. Nice. Did you see, mainly about the wrestling chat?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you know any swimmers, I'm sure this week we'll get a fair bit of swimmer complaint as well.
Yeah. Well, any yard enthusiasts.
Someone who really likes measuring. Do you know what I miss from school? Those big wheels? We used to go...
Yeah.
That's cool. The only thing with them, though...
Here we go.
The speed in which you push that completely throws off the meter.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, but if you spin it, if you hold it up and go... and spin it, it's like... so if you run with it... oh, wow.
Yes, what a perfect way to win.
Cut that.
Mythbusters.
Boys and it is honestly, we've done 181 episodes. The fact that Joe and I said nothing and he came to it, he did a full learning circle by himself. He just started the complaint, told us the example, worked out the result, and then left the studio all within a matter of moments. That was hilarious. Love it. Boys, until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to...
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now, but not forever.